Let us begin from the movie, The Empire Strikes Back. Those wise words from Yoda to Luke was a call for Luke to let his life speak, to learn the way of the Force, to unleash the greatness of who he is and who he was to become. While I am not a Jedi Master, I make the same call to you today. Let your life speak and unleash your greatness. At the core of letting your life speak, it's the power of the 3 W's. It's the who, it's the why, it's the way. It's the who, the why, and the way. The who, the power of the who, is about igniting the fire within. Ask yourself this question. Who are you? What gifts and talents do you have that you can give to the world? As part of that discovery process, what you need to do is find your passion. What grabs your heart? What grabs your heart? Let me tell you a story. When I was growing up back in Seattle, Washington, back in the 60s, one of the things that got me motivated was a passion for social justice. I grew up in the 60s, the era of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Cesar Chavez, Dolores Huerta, and Bobby Kennedy. Those are my heroes. They were foot soldiers for social justice. So I had a plan. My plan was to go to the University of Washington. I would enter and enroll in the business school. I would get an accounting degree, because that's good analytical training to get into law school, okay? And then I would become a lawyer, and then I would fight for the victims of injustice. But when I was a junior, I took a course from Professor Vern Buck. And Vern, in a process of talking to me, developing a relationship with him, understanding, asking me what I want to do and why, which I learned in retrospect was a discernment process, reflection, consultation. He got me to see that my passion for social justice could be pursued by becoming a professor. And when I became a professor, I could do research on justice. My students could do projects on social justice. They could do that. So yes, I am a professor, but I'm a foot soldier for social justice. The power of the why. Being motivated by a grand purpose. The questions I ask you would be, what is your grand purpose? What is the why in your life? Finding the answer to the why is so important to unleashing your greatness, because when you answer the why question, it provides meaning to your life, which provides a motivational force for you to achieve the greatness of who you are. It's the power of the why. And for me, a student once asked me, said, Professor Bies, what's your grand purpose? I said, my grand purpose was that I wanted to change the world one student at a time. That's what I do. And that's what I do. I have created the Executive Master's in Leadership Program for DC public school leaders. These are extraordinary public charter school leaders, DC public school leaders who are trying to change the life trajectories of young people. They are trying to change Washington, D.C. one student at a time, one school at a time. They are doing the work of social justice. I get to connect with that. All my courses, the undergraduate level MBA program, the course projects always have a social justice dimension. So I'm still a foot soldier for social justice. We need to be reminded of the wisdom of Winston Churchill. And Churchill said this, "It is not enough to have lived. We should be determined to live for something." It's the power of the why. But that third W is the power of the way. That's about vision and taking action. Vision. You need to dream. Be bold and dream big. That's the key, to dream big. I don't understand people who dream small. To unleash your greatness, you have to dream big. Luke dreamed big. It's about dreaming big. Let me tell you a story, because people tell me, Bob, don't dream big. You may be disappointed. Maybe people have told you that, these naysayers and doubters. I would remind them of the wisdom of Steve Jobs. The people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. It's about dreaming big. Pursue your dreams with passion, even to the point of failure. And if one dream fails, then dream a new dream. Here's the mathematical formula. Dreams plus determination produce greatness. People often say, well, I'm not big enough to make a big difference in the world. Well, let me remind you and them of the wisdom, the sage wisdom of the Dalai Lama, who said this: if you think you're too small to have an impact, try sleeping with a mosquito. It's true. Don't just dream, though. Do. It's about taking action. You want to be in the approach of creating opportunities for small wins. So you have the big dream. Create smaller dreams, smaller goals, short-term goals. And what you do then is achieve those short-term goals. And when you do those, when you create those small wins, it does three things for you. First off, it creates a sense of confidence. Oh, I can do this. It creates a sense of momentum, progress, and we love to be moving in the right direction. But what small wins does for you in taking action, it can help you when you meet setbacks and adversity to those challenges. When your life comes at you hard and knocks you down, you got to get back up and get in the mode of creating small wins. Let me tell you a story that brings that to life. In 1988, I was denied tenure at Northwestern University. That was devastating, personally and professionally, to be denied tenure, to say you're not worthy to be at Northwestern. It was real hard to deal with that bad news. But with the love and support of my wife, I started on a strategy of small wins. I started focusing on one paper at a time, one day at a time. So I started on a paper. I'd make progress. Ultimately, then I would submit a paper, then another paper, then another paper. And then I started another strategy. I got to get a new job. I only had a one-year time horizon. So I reached out to all my network friends and connections in my field as part of my small wins. I sent them my materials. I said, would you work with me? And ultimately, that led me to many places. And it turns out people actually wanted me, thought I was valuable. And then fortunately for me, in 1990, I ended up here at Georgetown University. This is an institution where the Jesuit values of valuing and encouraging me to be a foot soldier for social justice. That's what I am. I am a professor, but I'm a foot soldier for social justice. A life is not important except in the impact it has in other lives. Those words of Jackie Robinson are engraved on his tombstone in Brooklyn, in a cemetery in Brooklyn, New York. And what he's saying to people is, you have to think about letting your life speak, unleash your greatness, and make a positive impact and difference for people. It's about legacy. What are you leaving behind? What are you doing that's powerful? I don't care if you're 18 or 38 or 88. You should be thinking about legacy. If you're a student here at Georgetown, what are you doing better here to make it a better place at Georgetown? When you get old, you think about your legacy. Maybe you leave a legacy gift at Georgetown, hello? Okay, those sort of things. But it's all about legacy. What are you leaving back? As you think about legacy, I have two questions for you to reflect on. Daily, ask yourself this question: what have I done today to make the world a better place? What have I done? It could be something small, like listening to a friend who's had a difficult day, who took a midterm exam and just didn't do as well as they thought they did or should. It could be something even more profound, you involved in community service. What have you done to make the world a better day, better today, a better place? Then get profound. Ask yourself this profound question: what do you want people to write in your obituary about you, your life, your legacy? Did you leave a life that mattered? That's why I suggest to you, let your life speak. Unleash the greatness of who you are. The why and the way. So I want to leave you with these words. Remember that your greatness lies ahead of you and within you. May the force be with you.